I'm proud to tell you that this video is going to be brought to you by Gfuel, and by using my affiliate link in the pinned comment and in the description box, you'll not only be helping support the channel since it's a affiliate link. I do get a small commission for each sale that's made, so I don't get anything unless you guys purchase it. However, you'll also be able to get some really cool anime themed merchandise as well as energy tubs and different energy formulas. I personally use Gfuel a lot, and when it comes to anime, there's a plethora of different anime to choose from. Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, My Hero Academia, Mobile Suit Gundam, Attack on Titan, and so many other series are available on the website in the form of energy formulas packed with all the vitamins that you need and just enough caffeine to get you going for your day. Right now, Gfuel is running a 25th anniversary campaign for Neopets. Step into the magical world of Neopets and celebrate 25 years of adventure, friendship, and fun with Neopets' 25th anniversary Gfuel Golden Berry Energy Tub. You are not going to be disappointed in the flavor with this one. Absolutely worth every penny for it. I mean, come on, it's called the Great Golden Slushy. Scoutmaster Jigen definitely approves of this one. Which, most importantly, this cannot be understated. Unlike a lot of energy products that are out there, there is no crash and there is zero sugar. Two really huge selling points of why I personally support Gfuel. In typical anime fashion, I am going to need you guys to send me your energy by clicking the affiliate link in the description and in the pinned comment. And when you do so, make sure to use my promo code KAGE to get yourself a discount. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex discussion. Today, I wanted to take the time out to talk to you guys about the futures of Boruto and Kawaki, particularly now that we got the big reveal of Kashin Koji Shinjutsu, which is called the 10 Directions. Video on that will be dropping in 2 days, basically one day after the chapter review, which my chapter review editor is currently working on. But given all the info that we have, I think there needs to be another serious conversation, this time regarding Boruto and Kawaki and this dispute between brothers that was officially locked in stone to be kicked off in chapter 80 of Boruto Naruto Next Generations, and why I believe said dispute is headed down the road to directly deal with their karma seals, their original promise to each other to remove the karma seals from one another. Grab those ramen bowls and tell your friends to bring a friend for this newest Naruto Explained video, because good God, do we got a lot to talk about here, from the battle of brothers, the removal of karma seal destiny, to the elephant in the room that changed everything, Omnipotence. Just to be clear, I still stand by my belief that I mentioned last year about Boruto's ending being a modified Samurai 8S ending that's adjusted to fit to the world of Naruto, i.e. Boruto story's confines. Despite it being a risky type main character ending like we got with Attack on Titan, and very likely with Jujutsu Kaisen, which is going to be ending in 5 chapters. But I think the stuff that we're seeing laid out here, it plays a huge role in us getting to this point. So back in Boruto Naruto Next Generations, we were shown Kawaki reaching a point of despair where he came into contact with Ada after he attempted to kill Boruto for a second time and Sarda for a first time. This resulted in him using Ada to cast Omnipotence, which reversed the memories of everyone in the world when it came to Boruto and Kawaki. This, of course, led to Boruto declaring their battle of brothers. It would have to be resolved, and we jump ahead a year in the timeline. Sasuke, he's been defeated by Code as Sasuke protected Boruto. Kashin Koji has a stern look on his face when Boruto said he doesn't care what Kashin Koji saw. Under no circumstances will he ever allow Kawaki to be killed, regardless of the fact that every potential outcome Kashin Koji saw, every alternate timeline he saw, it all led to Kawaki being killed either by Code or used directly to harvest a chakra fruit. Boruto is dead set on solving the dispute between himself and Kawaki and reuniting the Uzumaki family. However, you might be asking, is this even possible? Well, Kashin Koji does say the future is ever changing. It's not always set in stone. As new events come to pass, new possibilities occur. And every timeline that Kashin Koji saw, the two of them, they were always physically at odds with one another, where either Kawaki killed Boruto or Kawaki beats Boruto but is captured by Code. And in every scenario, it leads to a planet being harvested by either Code or Ishiki for a chakra fruit. In this current road that we're on, we're told that the awakening of Jura, it is the worst possible future because in this timeline, it results in Jura killing Boruto because the timeline where Boruto does manage to save Sasuke, which is the road Boruto requested to go down, it results in Jura killing Boruto. Every major trigger point, it has a fork in the road where new changes can be made, which leads to more branches being created, which means you see more potential outcomes for the 10 directions Shinjutsu to see. We know based on where we are, Boruto and Kawaki, they will eventually come to a clash because it results in Boruto saying this is the only possible outcome. And we don't know how they got there, what led to the battle, and what threats are still out there to be faced. However, keeping in lines with the themes of Naruto and what Mikio Ikimoto, so the illustrator of the manga currently, himself stated is a core theme of Boruto's story, which is breaking free of the familial bonds and expectations placed upon you to create your own destiny. The prospect of Boruto and Kawaki reaching the point of realizing neither of them can carry the burden alone, it is very likely. Each try to do so their own way, and in every future timeline that Kashin Koji saw, it resulted in the death for the whole planet. Boruto is a sequel to the Naruto story. It continues to build on certain elements in its own way that came from Naruto, regardless as to what some disingenuous actors will tell you, including the concept of bonds and the belief that sharing burdens is not a sign of weakness, but instead it is a sign of trust and respect. Every person who tried to shoulder a burden all on their own, it ended up with a fate like Madara, where their lives and or their ambitions were cut short. Even Naruto, even though he said he would take on Sasuke's hatred alone in their final battle, even Naruto had the assistance of Kurama. Even the very introduction of chakra to mankind, it started out with the premise by Hagoromo that chakra was meant to connect people, bring people closer together, yet it is due to the nature of mankind itself that caused mankind to pervert the teachings of ninjutsu by making chakra into a weapon to be used as the warfare that we now call ninjutsu. We're headed down a similar road with Boruto and Kawaki. They will end up having to work together, and their karma resonance, it will be an issue as well as a benefit to both of them. Both in the sense that the Momoshiki problem still exists for the former, and in the latter, it is due to their resonance. When they use karma, they are able to pull out higher levels of power with the karma seal that far exceed what they normally can do on their own. Very similar to how two Sharingan being used together, which to clarify what I mean the eyes that belong to one person, it results in greater use and a faster use of the power, as we see when Kakashi and Obito both use Kamui together. They do so at a much faster speed than they could do on their own. I think what we're headed down is a similar path here, where the two of them, they end up working together briefly, which leads to eventually them both being freed of their fate of the karma seal. And I think it all goes back to their resonance. The story hammered it home multiple times in part 1. This is an unlikely, unprovoked, unexpected occurrence between the two. Two karma seals have never resonated before. Kawaki does want to kill Boruto, yes, absolutely. In his mind, he is doing the right thing here. Boruto is a threat to society because Momoshiki's soul, it is still attached to Boruto, and he can still hijack Boruto's body, even if he can't resurrect using Boruto's body. Saying that because people are still confused about it. We as the audience, we have an attachment to Boruto because he is the lovable main character that everyone is rooting for. But to boil Kawaki down to just being obsessed with killing Boruto, it is a disservice to his character, and to forget that dynamic, in particular forgetting the dramatic irony that is used for Kawaki's character, that's to do him a great disservice. We know things about Boruto's situation that Kawaki's not privy to yet, and that's something that too many fans, they tend to forget. That's why he stopped Himawari from healing Boruto. Everything seems out of place to him, and he knows Momoshiki can still hijack Boruto's body. He saw it with his own eyes when Momoshiki hijacked Boruto's body to save Kawaki from Sasuke and Shikamaru. One of Kawaki's very last interactions with Boruto in part 1 was him discovering Boruto was lying about having Momoshiki when they were conversing with one another. His brother was talking to an Otsutsuki that Kawaki rightfully does not trust, and he lied about it. Boruto shows up in the Konoha at the moment of Code's invasion, has all this information on the Ten Tails and the Thorn Souls, but he won't disclose where he got it, just like he wouldn't disclose to Kawaki he was working with Momoshiki. Kawaki never said he wouldn't allow Boruto to be healed, but he said he wanted him restrained first, just as a precaution to ensure Momoshiki is not a threat. Before Boruto got shot, notice Kawaki was trying to interrogate him. He's not a big enough of a fool to think that he can defeat these awakened Shinjo on his own. He's seen the gap between himself and Boruto. He knows he needs Boruto's power for all of Kawaki's faults, and he's got plenty of them. He is still someone who in his mind is doing what he deems to be the best to protect Konoha, the village of the man who Kawaki's obsessed with. He was Hokage over said village. He's not going to tarnish Naruto's legacy in that sense. He made the logical conclusion that Boruto had to have been working with the enemies of the village, both to keep the perception that Boruto can't be trusted to make it easier to kill, but also because he doesn't have the information we do. Again, it's dramatic irony, which is likely going to happen when he gets the opportunity to speak. He will gain information, especially now that he knows Boruto's been working with Kashin Koji. We're going to eventually reach a point where he moves beyond rationalizing his bad behaviors, and it's because at the end of the day, it is survival. If he dies, Naruto is doomed to be trapped in another dimension, which even Kawaki would not want for Naruto. One of the last images we saw of Boruto that was in Kawaki's mind was that of Momoshiki being in control. He saw them as a split face. He no longer saw Boruto as simply Boruto Uzumaki, because he is not Boruto Uzumaki anymore. Momoshiki can still hijack his body. Boruto is still a threat. Ada said Kawaki still viewed Boruto as a brother in spite of everything, and that is very important to keep in mind. Why did Kawaki kill Boruto originally? Yes, it was to protect Naruto. That was a massive part of it. But it was also to release Boruto of the fate that had befallen him of the Karma Seal, just as he and Kawaki once promised each other that they will do for one another. Boruto is still bound by the fate of the Karma. Even though Momoshiki cannot resurrect using his body, he can still hijack his body. Therefore, he can place Boruto under more mental anguish by having him harm his friends and other people, something Kawaki knows Boruto would never want. Boruto's too kind-hearted of a soul for that, and he saw it with his own eyes. Boruto cannot control the Karma Seal yet. He is afraid of karma. Momoshiki can still briefly control him. As his brother, Kawaki owes it to him to save him of that fate. Buried beneath all of that, it is still a desire to help his brother, and in his mind, his only option is a mercy killing of Boruto. That is the only way to free Boruto, someone who his Karma Seal has a strong resonance with. That resonance is very important to keep in mind because of this next point. Boruto, one of the core themes of the franchise itself is how does science fit into the world of shinobi. Boruto being what some fans like to call the last shinobi, which that's an amazing name. Still a ninja merchandise coming soon. And Kawaki himself is a byproduct of science. He is a literal cyborg. He has been modified by Amato, someone who, while pretending to be the Hokage's son, is in all actuality the student of said Hokage who gave up the teaching of Naruto the moment he regained karma, which that was done, wait for it, by technology, in a story of where the science fit into a world of shinobi. Boruto and Kawaki's Karma Seals, they have always resonated in a way very similar to the resonance phenomenon in science, particularly when it comes to radio waves, the electromagnetic field vibrations, which allow for the tuning in of specific frequencies. When there's resonance, you get specific radio stations because you're getting the strongest signal for said station. Each time Boruto and Kawaki, they've resonated, there's a stronger signal strength than normal, and when they've been at high levels of resonance, their emotions are usually very charged. I say that to say because desire itself is an emotion. What was the key to activating Omnipotence? It was desire, the ability to turn desires into reality. Ada desired to help Kawaki, Kawaki desired a world where Boruto was the outsider, where Boruto was not viewed as the Hokage's son, and his jealousy of Boruto being Naruto's son, and his hate for understanding that people misunderstood him because of why he was trying to kill the Hokage's son. Those are all things that led to Omnipotence being casted in the world that we currently have. It's a power that Ada can't control on her own, but a strong resonance with Boruto and Kawaki, with Ada there in the area, serving as an antenna for them, which will ultimately depend on her own highly emotionally charged state as well. That opens up the door for two of the biggest plot lines in the story being closed: the reversal of Omnipotence and the removal of karma from both Boruto and Kawaki to free them of that fate. And Ada is already emotionally charged enough for you to eventually get to that point. You just have to push her a little bit further. She's already curious about wanting to speak to Boruto. Boruto's now being pushed into captivity. She also still harbors a deep guilt for what she had to do by going along with Kawaki because he forced her, which is tell everyone that Boruto killed Naruto, and she stayed silent about her role in casting Omnipotence to everyone except for those who are affected by it. It's important to remember that the whole time in those last few chapters, Ada was not comfortable going along with what she was being forced to do. Ada's a lot of things, but she is not inherently bad. The fact that she even felt guilt for her role in the events of chapter 78, that just tells you there is some redeeming factor there for her. There are extra layers to Ada's character, and in particular, her character's involvement in everything that happened at the end of part 1. Things that have not been fully addressed yet. She's tried to make amends, and she still has a curiosity for Boruto. The relationship with those two, it is not over yet. And that's also important to keep in mind. Sure, you need to hammer out things such as Naruto being unsealed and the external threats that are out there like the Shinju and Code and etc. But that's part of the joy of following an ongoing manga. You don't have all the pieces right away at any given point until the ending of a plot line. But you do over time get several small pieces that allow you to start building a framework to see where it's going. And that basis for how Omnipotence is casted, it has always bothered me because it was linked to emotions. And now, with Kashin Koji seeing every possible timeline except for one where Boruto and Kawaki work together, making it seem like they are destined to battle, just as Obito once told Naruto that he and Sasuke were always destined to battle, and the expression when Boruto said he wanted to solve things without killing Kawaki in a manga that continues one of Naruto's themes of breaking free of one's destiny. Just as the guy who draws the manga once said, it leads me to believe that is where we are headed. Kashin Koji said the future, it is ever changing. This is the one thing he did not see, a desired outcome he did not think was possible, involving a boy who is the literal firstborn child of the guy who broke his own destiny and the destiny of his brother Sasuke by ending the cycle of hatred amongst transmigrant reincarnations. I think we gotta keep our eyes locked on these following characters if this does end up being the case, which I strongly believe is going to be the case. Boruto Uzumaki, Kawaki Uzumaki, Sarada Uchiha, Ada, and Himawari Uzumaki. The review should be up tomorrow, so keep notifications turned on so you don't miss out. And if you're a Jujutsu Kaisen fan, we only got 5 chapters left, so don't forget to click here on the left in order to see my newest chapter review, and subscribe to that channel for more anime content as well as the last 5 chapters of JJK, and click here to the right for my latest Naruto Explained video.